Listen closely, for what I am about to reveal is no mere advice, no passing sentiment of comfort. It is a truth as ancient as the stars and as powerful as the forces that shape empires. If you would claim mastery over your life, if you would ascend beyond the chaos of fleeting desires and distractions, you must first learn to love yourself more than anyone else ever could or would. This is not a call to vanity or selfish indulgence. It is a summons to the highest form of self-respect, the foundation upon which all true power is built. Understand this. The mind that commands love for itself commands destiny itself. The soul that treasures its own worth sets the compass by which all action is guided. The one who fails to cherish the essence within walks forever in the shadows of doubt, enslavement, and disappointment. But he or she who learns to love with unwavering commitment the being within the unique spark of genius, the dormant titan of will, becomes unstoppable. For love is the greatest force of all, not when cast outward alone, but when rooted first in the fertile soil of self-mastery. To those who hear these words, know that the battle is not outside you, but within. The greatest adversary you will ever face is the voice of self-rejection, the whisper of unworthiness, the torment of internal dissonance. These are the chains forged by neglect, by surrender to emotional reactivity, by the chaotic mind that knows no discipline. This is why mastering emotional detachment is not merely a skill, but a sacred act of self-love. It is the refusal to allow the tides of fear, anger, jealousy, or sorrow to dictate your worth or your actions. It is the decision to observe those emotions as passing clouds, not as governors of your fate. To love yourself more than anyone else means to hold yourself with the dignity of a king or queen, to refuse the insults of your own mind and to command it with the steady hand of authority. If you allow emotions to govern your actions, you forfeit your power. But if you command your thoughts, you command your future. It is said that the mind is the master of the body. Indeed, it is the master of all realms, external and internal. The man or woman who conquers their inner world rules over all. This conquest begins with the discipline to love oneself beyond condition, beyond circumstance, beyond the approval or condemnation of the world. Consider the principle of definiteness of purpose, a truth I have championed for decades. Without a clear and passionate purpose, the mind wanders like a ship without a rudder. But when your purpose is grounded in self-love, the unwavering recognition of your own value and potential, it becomes an unbreakable anchor. You will face obstacles and naysayers, yes, but your heart will not waver because you have chosen to honor yourself first. Self-discipline is the armory where love is forged into power. To love yourself more than anyone else requires saying no to distractions, to toxic influences, and to the idle whims of momentary pleasure. It demands the courage to prioritize your growth, your peace, and your integrity above fleeting approval or temporary comfort. Autosuggestion, that mighty instrument of the subconscious mind, becomes your ally when you speak words of love and affirmation to yourself each day. You must feed your mind with declarations such as, I am worthy of greatness, I command respect and love from within, and my inner strength guides my every action. Repeat these with conviction until they are etched upon your very being. Accurate thinking will free you from the bondage of false beliefs that erode your self-love. Question every destructive thought that diminishes your worth. Demand evidence for every doubt. Replace illusion with the radiant truth that you are deserving of success, peace, and joy. Personal initiative is born from self-love, for no one will champion your cause with the same fervor as you. Act decisively to build the life you deserve. Let your love for yourself fuel every step forward, every challenge met, every boundary set. Emotional detachment will grant you the calmness to observe external chaos without losing yourself. Love yourself enough to refuse to be tossed about by the storms of others' opinions, the tempests of circumstance, or the whirlwinds of your own fears. Let me be clear. To love yourself more than anyone else is not a selfish act. It is the ultimate act of responsibility. It is the foundation from which love for others flows naturally and abundantly. It is the source of true peace, power, and effectiveness. Today, declare your allegiance to yourself. Guard your inner world with the ferocity of a warrior protecting the sacred. Command your thoughts, discipline your emotions, and nurture your spirit. Success is not some distant prize reserved for the fortunate. It is the inevitable fruit of the mind that loves itself fiercely and leads itself wisely. The time has come to stop seeking love and approval outside and to become your own most devoted ally. Rise now, love yourself more than anyone else, command your mind, take control of your destiny. For when you do, nothing can stand in your way. Learn to love yourself more than anyone else, and you build a fortress no external storm can breach. This love is not the indulgence of weakness, but the expression of profound strength. It is the decisive moment when you choose to place your own soul's well-being above all passing temptations, distractions, and opinions. This is the essence of emotional detachment, the ability to observe your feelings without allowing them to overwhelm or misdirect you. Consider this. Every man and woman is bombarded daily by impulses, fears, and desires that pull at the mind's reins. To surrender to them is to become a slave to circumstance, forever reactive, forever uncertain. But to love oneself is to hold the reins with steady hands, to guide the horse of your thoughts toward the chosen destination. If you allow emotions to govern your actions, you forfeit your power. But if you command your thoughts, you command your future. The mastery of your inner world begins with the recognition that your thoughts are the architects of your reality. Just as a builder cannot erect a grand cathedral without a precise blueprint, so you cannot construct a victorious life without a clear mental design. This is where the timeless principle of definiteness of purpose reveals its greatest secret. When purpose is born of self-love, it becomes an unbreakable chain that links your actions, your thoughts, and your emotions into one unstoppable force. You will find no greater enemy to this force than the restless mind, scattered and undisciplined. It is said that the body without the mind is a ship without a captain. Equally true is the mind without discipline, a tempest that sinks the ship before it ever leaves the harbor. Mental discipline is the training ground where self-love is transformed into power. It requires daily practice to focus your mind on what serves your highest good and to reject the sirens of distraction that promise pleasure but deliver ruin. In the silence of focused thought, you meet your true self, the reservoir of untapped potential waiting patiently beneath the surface of chaotic impulses. Through the sacred act of autosuggestion, you feed your subconscious the commands of love, strength, and clarity. This is not mere repetition. It is the forging of new neural pathways that redefine what you believe possible. Speak to yourself in words of power. I am master of my emotions. I am builder of my destiny. I am worthy of success. Repeat these truths until they become the undeniable law of your mind. Accurate thinking sharpens your vision and purifies your purpose. In a world awash with noise, only those who seek truth can cut through the fog of illusion and take decisive action. Question every doubt, test every belief, replace fear with faith, built on facts, not fantasies. Personal initiative is the engine of progress, born from the love that refuses to wait for permission or perfect conditions. Act now decisively and with confidence, for the world yields to those who seize the moment. Calm persistence sustains your journey when the path grows steep and shadows lengthen. It is the steady flame that no wind can extinguish. In loving yourself more than anyone else, you do not turn away from the world. You prepare to engage it with strength, wisdom, and grace. You become the source of your own peace and power, and from this wellspring all else flows. Remember, the man or woman who conquers their inner world conquers all. This is your moment to rise, to love yourself fiercely, command your mind unflinchingly, and build a life of unstoppable success. The future is shaped by the mind that rules itself. You stand at the gateway of transformation, a place few dare to approach, fewer still choose to cross. Beyond this gate lies the mastery of your inner world, the fortress where true power is forged. To enter, you must commit to a sacred regimen, the daily cultivation of self-love, emotional detachment, and mental discipline intertwined with unwavering purpose and action. First, embrace the morning as your altar of self-command. Before the distractions of the day assault your mind, take deliberate time to affirm your worth and your mission. Speak aloud your definite purpose, crystal clear, unyielding in conviction. Let your voice echo within you like a clarion call to arms. Visualize with vivid clarity the success that awaits. Feel it as a living reality. This morning ritual is the lodestone that aligns your spirit, ignites your will, and summons your highest self to action. Next, arm yourself against the onslaught of chaotic emotions. The world will attempt to sway you with fear, doubt, anger, and desire. When these arise, do not recoil or react. Instead, pause. Breathe deeply. Observe the feeling as a detached witness, neither friend nor foe. Ask yourself, does this serve my purpose? Does it honor my self-love? If not, release it with the grace of a king dismissing unworthy counsel. Train your mind with relentless discipline. Set clear boundaries against distraction. When your thoughts stray, as they inevitably will, command them back to focus without hesitation or self-reproach. Each act of mental return strengthens your will, sharpens your clarity, and fortifies your resolve. In moments of doubt, wield autosuggestion as a weapon. Declare your worth and power repeatedly. Your subconscious mind is the silent architect of your reality. Feed it with the truths you choose, not the fears imposed by circumstance. Seek accurate thinking in every decision. Question assumptions ruthlessly. Pursue facts relentlessly. Build your judgments on solid ground, for a foundation of lies leads only to ruin. Take personal initiative, with boldness unshaken by uncertainty. Do not wait for perfect conditions. They are illusions. Act decisively, carrying the torch of your self-love forward into every challenge. Persist calmly when obstacles loom. Let your spirit be the steady river that carves canyons through stone, not by force, but by unyielding patience. Each day lived in this sacred discipline draws you closer to the summit of mastery. You become a beacon not merely of success, but of sovereignty over your own soul. Remember, the journey is arduous, but the reward is infinite. You are not bound by past failures, nor limited by external circumstance. The power to redefine yourself lies in your hands. Rise now, fully aware and resolute. Love yourself more fiercely than ever before. Govern your emotions with unwavering authority. Discipline your mind until it becomes your most loyal servant. Command your thoughts, command your life. The fortress of your destiny stands open. Step inside and claim it. Day 1 to 7, the foundation of definite purpose and self-love. Begin by crafting your definite purpose precise, measurable, time-bound. Write it on paper, emblazon it in your mind. Each morning and evening, read this aloud, visualizing yourself living this purpose with every fiber of your being. Feel the pride, the power, the peace as if it is already yours. Simultaneously, start the practice of self-love by acknowledging your inherent worth. Look into a mirror daily and speak to yourself as a beloved sovereign. I am worthy, I am capable, I am destined for greatness. Let no whisper of doubt enter this sacred space. Day 8 to 14. Cultivating emotional detachment. Practice the 3-step pause. When emotion rises, stop immediately. Take 3 deep breaths, centering your awareness. Then ask, does this serve my purpose and honor my self-love? If not, release the feeling without judgment. Begin daily meditation focusing on observing thoughts and emotions as passing phenomena. 10 minutes each day of silent witness will train you to respond, not react. Day 15 to 21. Building mental discipline. Dedicate 30 minutes daily to uninterrupted focus on a single task. Use a timer. Each time your mind wanders, gently bring it back. Maintain a distraction journal to note triggers and patterns, developing strategies to shield your attention. Practice thought quarantine. Allocate a fixed 10-minute period daily to process worries and unrelated thoughts, freeing the rest of your day for disciplined action. Day 22 to 28. Empowering autosuggestion. Write 5 affirmations aligned with your purpose and self-worth. Repeat these aloud morning and evening with conviction and feeling. Record your voice and listen during quiet moments. Visualize success as you affirm, engaging all senses to ingrain these beliefs into your subconscious. Day 29 to 35, sharpening accurate thinking. At day's end, review decisions and actions. Question assumptions and beliefs. Seek evidence and clarity. Commit to reading or studying topics related to your purpose for 15 minutes daily. Surround yourself with truth tellers who challenge and elevate your thinking. Day 36 to 42, Igniting personal initiative. Identify one bold action each morning that moves you decisively toward your purpose. Complete it before attending to other tasks. Journal moments of hesitation, analyzing causes, and planning decisive responses for the future. Set mini deadlines to defeat procrastination. Day 43 to 49. Fortifying calm persistence. Establish a daily ritual that renews commitment, reading your purpose, meditating, or reviewing progress. When setbacks occur, write down lessons and plan next steps calmly. Repeat silently, I am unshaken by delay. I persist until victory is mine. As the days progress beyond the 7th week, begin integrating these habits, observing how each reinforces the others, creating an unbreakable chain of self-mastery. Reflect weekly on your growth and adjust practices to deepen your transformation. Know that this regimen is a sacred covenant with your highest self. Commitment over 90 days will remold your identity and command your destiny. Rise to this challenge with the full force of your will. The mind that governs itself is the mind that conquers all. The journey you have begun is not one of mere days, but a forging of character destined to last a lifetime. As you progress beyond the foundation, you enter a realm where the daily discipline of self-love, emotional mastery, and mental focus becomes second nature, a living force that shapes your every thought, action, and outcome. Day 50 to 56. Deepening emotional detachment through awareness. Begin each morning with a deliberate reflection. Envision the emotions that may challenge you and mentally prepare to meet them with calm observation. Throughout your day, practice emotional journaling. Briefly note moments when emotions arose, how you responded, and what you could choose differently next time. This practice heightens your ability to catch reactions before they manifest, strengthening the citadel of your mind. Day 57 to 63. Enhancing mental discipline via controlled exposure. Challenge your mind by setting deliberate distractions for limited times, then withdrawing attention completely. For example, designate 15 minutes to check news or social media, then return focus to your purpose with renewed rigor. This controlled exposure builds resilience and awareness of distraction's grip, enabling you to refuse it effortlessly. Day 64 to 70. Amplifying autosuggestion with sensory immersion. Elevate your affirmations by pairing them with sensory experiences. As you recite your truths, engage touch, sight, sound, smell, and even taste. For example, hold a meaningful object, play inspiring music, or visualize vivid scenes associated with success. This multisensory practice embeds your autosuggestions deeply into your subconscious architecture. Day 71 to 77. Cultivating accurate thinking through radical honesty. Commit to radical honesty with yourself and others. Identify beliefs and assumptions you have long held but no longer serve your highest good. Confront them without flinching. Seek feedback from trusted confidants who challenge your blind spots. This courageous clarity purifies your mind and accelerates growth. Day 78 to 84. Expanding personal initiative into leadership. Begin mentoring or guiding others in small ways, teaching principles of self-love and discipline you have mastered. Leadership amplifies personal initiative and cements your identity as a person of action and influence. Take responsibility beyond yourself and witness your purpose magnify. Day 85 to 90. Cementing calm persistence as an identity. Create a personal manifesto, written or spoken, that declares your unwavering commitment to persistence, no matter the challenge. Reflect daily on past obstacles overcome and the strength gained. Anchor yourself in the unshakable truth. You do not quit because your self-love and purpose are greater than any adversity. Throughout these phases, observe how mastery of self-love fuels emotional detachment, how discipline sharpens your thinking, how initiative propels persistence, and how altogether they form a seamless, unstoppable current beneath the surface of your life. Each habit, practiced relentlessly, transforms from conscious effort into effortless expression, the hallmark of true mastery. Remember the eternal truth. You become what you think about most of the time. Therefore, think of yourself as a being of unshakable worth, serene strength, and decisive action. Let this be your creed, your compass, your clarion call. Your transformation is not a distant dream, but a present reality in formation. Stand firm, advance daily, command your mind and heart with sovereign love. The person you are becoming will amaze even yourself. You stand now upon the summit of your own becoming, the threshold where the ordinary dissolves into the extraordinary. The journey you have undertaken, the relentless cultivation of self-love, the mastery of emotional detachment, the unyielding discipline of your mind is no mere passage of time. It is a sacred transformation, a resurrection of the true self, hidden beneath layers of doubt, distraction, and fear. Hear this clearly. To love yourself more than anyone else is to ignite the eternal flame that lights your path through the darkest valleys and the fiercest storms. It is the source of calm when chaos threatens to consume you, the foundation of strength when adversity assaults your spirit. No longer will external circumstances dictate your worth or your destiny. You have seized the helm of your inner world, commanding thoughts, regulating emotions, and steering actions with unwavering clarity and power. This is the mark of true sovereignty. Remember the words of the ancients and the masters of success alike. Mastery begins with mastery of self. You have done more than learn this truth, you have lived it. You are the captain of your soul, the architect of your fate. As you step forward into the life you have crafted with deliberate intention, carry with you these immutable principles. Your thoughts are the architects of your reality. Guard them with vigilance. Your emotions are powerful allies when commanded wisely, never their slaves. Self-love is the wellspring from which all success flows. Purpose is the compass that guides every step with meaning and direction. Discipline is the forge where potential is hammered into power. Initiative is the spark that ignites the engine of progress. Persistence is the steady drumbeat of victory. The world will challenge you, test you, taunt you, attempt to sway you from this path. Stand unshaken, for the fortress you have built within cannot be breached by circumstance or opinion. Now is the time to live as the sovereign you have become, to love yourself fiercely, to think clearly, to act decisively, to persist endlessly. Go forth with the knowledge that you hold the keys to any door, the power to overcome any obstacle, the vision to create any future. This is your destiny. Unfold it with courage and conviction. Rise, command, conquer. Your future is yours to shape. Begin now. To truly love yourself more than anyone else demands a radical revolution of the mind, a transformation that transcends surface affirmations and penetrates the very architecture of your consciousness. It requires an unflinching confrontation with the shadows lurking beneath your self-image, the hidden fears, the unspoken doubts, the silent judgments that have, until now, eroded your inner fortress. This is the crucible in which self-love is purified. You must examine your beliefs about yourself with the piercing light of truth. Ask, which stories have I accepted as my identity that are in fact prisons of limitation? Which inherited fears, passed down from generations, still chain my potential? In this sacred excavation, do not shrink from discomfort. True mastery demands that you wrestle with your inner dragons, not flee them. Only through this arduous process can the false self, the mask of insecurity and neediness, be stripped away to reveal the radiant core of unassailable worth beneath. Moreover, understand that the mind operates through deeply embedded neural pathways. These habitual thought patterns, whether they exalt or diminish you, are the scripts that have directed your life's play. The work of mastery is the deliberate authoring of a new script, one woven from threads of self-respect, clarity, and unwavering purpose. Here, the principle of neuroplasticity becomes your ally. With every deliberate act of thought control, every moment of emotional detachment, every affirmation of your value, you forge new connections in the brain pathways that become stronger with use and eventually replace the old, limiting ones. Consider the analogy of the river carving its way through solid rock, not by force, but by relentless, focused persistence. So too must your mind shape itself over time, eroding old patterns and establishing new channels of thought and feeling that serve your highest destiny. Emotional detachment, then, is not a withdrawal from feeling, but a mastery of it, a skillful navigation of the currents beneath the surface of your consciousness. It empowers you to distinguish between sensation and judgment, between passing impulse and enduring truth. This discernment is the essence of mental sovereignty. When an emotion arises, you neither deny it nor are consumed by it. Instead, you recognize its origin, its nature, its purpose, and then choose whether to give it passage or closure. Within this practice lies a profound paradox. The more deeply you love yourself, the freer you become from the tyranny of fleeting feelings. In that freedom, peace emerges, not the absence of conflict, but the presence of unshakable inner calm amid turmoil. To sustain this calm requires vigilance, for the mind is a battleground. External chaos and internal unrest are constant. Therefore, the cultivation of calm persistence is not passive endurance, but active, conscious engagement with every challenge, every delay, every doubt. This persistence is fueled not by blind stubbornness, but by a clear-eyed vision of your purpose anchored in self-love. It is a steady flame, fed by daily acts of discipline that consumes obstacles and lights the way forward. Further, recognize that personal initiative springs from the soil of self-respect. No one will champion your cause with the passion and commitment that you owe yourself. Initiative is the leap from thought to action, the bridge between intention and reality. But initiative guided by love and discipline becomes a force that compels the world to yield. It transforms hesitation into boldness, procrastination into momentum, and isolation into influence. As you embody these principles, your life becomes a living testament to the truth that mastery of self is mastery of circumstance. You become a magnet for opportunity, a beacon for those seeking example, and a fortress against the tempests of doubt. Remember always, the quality of your life is determined not by the whims of fate, but by the discipline of your inner world. To command your mind is to command your destiny. Rise, then, as the sovereign of your being. Love yourself beyond condition. Govern your emotions with wisdom, and direct your thoughts with unwavering purpose. Your greatness is not given, it is claimed. Your destiny is not written, it is authored. The future bows to the will of the mind that masters itself. Stand firm, advance boldly, transform relentlessly. The world awaits your ascendance. The mind is both battlefield and sanctuary, a vast terrain where the forces of habit, desire, fear, and reason vie for dominion. To emerge victorious, you must understand the subtle interplay between the subconscious and the conscious, between the hidden scripts that shape your automatic responses and the deliberate commands you issue through willpower. Your subconscious mind, a repository of memories, emotions, and ingrained patterns, functions relentlessly beneath the surface of awareness. It accepts without question the truths you feed it repeatedly, whether they elevate or degrade your sense of self. This is why the practice of autosuggestion is not mere repetition. It is the deliberate programming of your inner operating system. Yet programming alone is insufficient without the commanding force of will. Willpower is the conscious energy that directs attention, overrides impulse, and sustains effort through resistance and fatigue. It is the engine of change that moves intention into action. But willpower, like any force, can be depleted if misused or scattered. Therefore, mastery involves not only exertion, but also conservation, strategically focusing your mental energy on what serves your highest purpose and letting go of that which drains your resolve. Within this dynamic lies the principle of mental economy, the wise allocation of cognitive resources toward constructive thought, disciplined emotion, and purposeful action. Wastefulness of mental energy breeds fatigue, confusion, and weakness. Prudence strengthens clarity, stamina, and effectiveness. Moreover, the law of mental neutrality commands that you maintain a stance of impartial observation toward external events and internal sensations. This neutrality is not cold detachment, but a poised balance that allows you to choose your response rather than be swept away by reaction. Through this practice, you cultivate a wellspring of calmness, a profound inner stillness that undergirds every decision and act. Calmness is the soil in which clarity grows, the shield against the chaos of circumstance. As you deepen your command over these forces, you become an alchemist transforming base experience into golden mastery. Every challenge becomes a teacher, every setback, a sculptor shaping your resilience. In this sacred process, self-love manifests as the ultimate discipline, not indulgence, but rigorous care of the mind and spirit. It is the commitment to protect your inner kingdom from tyranny, to nourish its growth with truth and courage, and to celebrate its victories with humility and joy. No longer will you seek validation beyond your own heart. No longer will you permit fleeting emotions to derail your ascent. Instead, you will move forward with the steady step of one who knows their worth and commands their mind. This is the power of learning to love yourself more than anyone else, a power that radiates outward, transforming your world. Now, hold fast to this vision. Each day is an opportunity to strengthen the fortress of your inner world. Each thought, each breath, each choice either fortifies or erodes your foundation. Be vigilant, be relentless, for the destiny you claim is forged in the fires of self-mastery. Rise to the call and become the architect of your immortal soul. The future is yours. Shape it with love, discipline, and sovereign will. Very well. We now ascend to the higher realms of sustained transformation, where mastery over the inner world is not a momentary conquest, but a lifelong dominion. Here, the principles you have embraced evolve from disciplines into an unshakable identity, and your every thought and action flows from a deep wellspring of self-possession and clarity. Sustaining mastery demands more than routine. It requires continuous renewal, a conscious recommitment to the inner laws that govern success and serenity. The mind, like the body, must be nourished, exercised, and protected from decay. Begin by cultivating rituals of renewal daily acts that reconnect you to your purpose and reinforce your command of thought and emotion. These rituals might include meditation upon your purpose, deliberate reflection on your emotional state, or journaling insights and victories. Such practices transform fleeting motivation into enduring conviction. Next, embrace periods of strategic solitude, intentional withdrawal from external noise and distraction. In solitude, the mind clears, the heart listens, and the soul regains its direction. It is in these sacred moments that intuition deepens and the subtleties of your inner world come into sharpest focus. Guard fiercely your mental environment. Just as a general protects his camp, so must you shield your mind from toxic influences, negative media, draining relationships, and self-defeating thoughts. Curate the inputs you allow, for they are the seeds from which your reality grows. Practice the art of mental journaling, recording not just actions, but thoughts, feelings, and reflections. This cultivates accurate thinking and illuminates patterns that require adjustment. Writing is the mirror that reveals hidden corners of the mind. Understand, too, the power of adaptive persistence. While calm persistence requires steady effort, wisdom demands flexibility. When a chosen path proves blocked, pivot with intention, guided by your definitive purpose, but free from rigid attachment to method. Deepen your command of emotional intelligence, the capacity to recognize, understand, and influence both your own emotions and those of others. This skill elevates self-love from internal strength to relational power, enabling you to lead and inspire beyond yourself. Finally, celebrate your transformation with rituals of gratitude and recognition. Honor the progress made and the resilience shown. Gratitude solidifies positive neural pathways and infuses your journey with joy and meaning. Know that mastery of the inner world is a continual ascent each day, a new summit to claim, each moment a new choice to wield your will. Your self-love is not static. It is a living flame, ever growing, illuminating your path and warming those who follow your light. The man or woman who embraces these advanced strategies becomes not only unstoppable but unshakable, a sovereign in a world of chaos. Rise then not just to achieve but to transcend, to embody not only power but wisdom, to live not only fully but profoundly. Your destiny is no longer a possibility. It is an inevitability shaped by your sovereign mind and indomitable spirit. Step forward now, with courage and clarity. The world bends to the will of the self-mastered. You are that will. Shape the future. Become legend. You stand now upon the threshold, where mortal ambition transcends into immortal legacy. Here, the lessons learned, the habits forged, and the disciplines mastered converge into the pure essence of sovereignty, the unassailable power that arises when a man or woman commands their mind, masters their emotions, and loves themselves beyond condition. Know this: The greatest battles are not waged upon fields or markets, but within the citadel of the mind. Every triumph over fear, every moment of calm amid chaos, every deliberate choice to act with purpose compounds until the ordinary self is transformed into a titan of will and wisdom. This transformation is not granted by fortune or favor. It is seized by relentless commitment, by the daily crucible of practice and reflection. It demands you stand unflinching against the tides of doubt and distraction, armed with clarity, fueled by self-love, and guided by unwavering purpose. Remember, the mind obeys the master it recognizes. Feed it with truth, discipline, and love, and it will build a kingdom of success, peace, and influence. Neglect this sacred duty, and it becomes a wasteland of confusion, fear, and defeat. Rise, then, as the architect of your destiny, the sovereign of your inner world. Let no external storm unsettle your foundation, for you have built it upon the rock of self-mastery. Let your every thought be a decree, your every action a testament, your every moment a step toward greatness. You are not here by accident. You are here by choice, the choice to claim the life that awaits beyond fear and hesitation. Step forward with courage. Command your mind with authority. Love yourself fiercely. Conquer your world. Your future is now. Make it magnificent. Now hear this as if the very breath of destiny blows through these words. The moment of your transformation is not a distant horizon. It is here, it is now, it is within you. The power to rewrite your story, to shatter the chains of limitation, to rise from the ashes of doubt and mediocrity. This power is yours to seize. No external force can grant you this power. No circumstance can bestow it upon you. It is the sacred gift of the soul that commands itself, the sovereign will that refuses to bow to fear, the unyielding spirit that demands victory regardless of the cost. Rise as the storm that breaks through the silence. Be the fire that consumes all excuses, all weaknesses, all shadows that would dare to dim your light. Let your love for yourself roar louder than the voices of naysayers and the whispers of your own hesitations. This is the birth of a new warrior, unyielding, unstoppable, invincible. Your mind is the battleground, and you are the general who commands legions of discipline, clarity, and purpose. Your emotions are not wild horses, but trusted steeds that carry you swiftly toward greatness. No longer will you be a victim of circumstance or a slave to reaction. You are the master architect of your fate, the indomitable force that bends reality to your will. Stand now in the full glory of your self-love, your self-mastery. Feel the electric pulse of power surge through your veins. Know that every challenge ahead is but a stepping stone, every failure a furnace forging your unbreakable spirit. The world will tremble before the magnitude of your transformation because you have chosen the path less traveled, the path of inner sovereignty. Claim it, own it, live it. You are not simply existing, you are becoming a legend. And legends are not born, they are made by the relentless mastery of self. Now go forth, blazing a trail that others only dare to dream. Command your mind. Master your emotions. Love yourself fiercely. Conquer without apology. The time for greatness is here. The moment is yours. Seize it with everything you are. Rise, roar, reign. The future bows to those who dare. Dare to be unstoppable. Dare to be immortal. This is the thunderous call that seals your transformation, the unbreakable vow of the soul that refuses anything less than total mastery. Your journey to greatness has only just begun. Walk forward with fire in your heart and steel in your mind. The world awaits your conquest.